Welcome to Building AI-Powered Chatbots Without Programming. My name is Antonio Cangiano, and I'm a software developer and AI evangelist at IBM. When we talk about AI, people start thinking about science fiction scenarios. That might excite you or maybe scare you, but one thing is certain. We're many years away from so-called strong AI, in which a machine becomes as intelligent as a human being. Well, some humans. What we're not far away is artificial intelligence that serves practical purposes and can fundamentally change the way we experience everyday life. In this course, we're going to focus on one of the most popular applications of AI available today, namely chatbots, which are one example of conversational AI. Chatbots are exploding in popularity, so much so that Gartner predicts that by next year, a quarter of all customer service operations will use chatbots to assist their customers. This presents a great opportunity for individuals and companies who have the skills to build, say, chatbots. That's my goal for this course, to teach you how to build customer service chatbots. AI is getting smarter and more readily available. As such, I will be able to teach you how to create chatbots without the need to write any single line of code. We'll start off by introducing chatbots and discuss what they are, as well as why they are becoming so popular. Next, in Module 2 and 3, we'll introduce intents and entities, which are two key components of any chatbot. In Module 4, we'll tackle the dialogue itself, including chatbot design considerations and best practices. In Module 5, we'll deploy the chatbot to an actual website that will be generated for you. This means that anyone with a link to your site can try out your chatbot. Finally, in Modules 6 and 7, we'll consider more advanced topics that can really help you polish the user experience and create more advanced chatbots. Note that this is a hands-on course, so when I say that we'll tackle such topics, I do really mean it. I'll give you the theoretical background required to understand what's going on, while you spend most of your time working on labs designed to help you experience the actual process of creating chatbots. Each module has a series of graded quizzes that count towards your final score. Likewise, there's an exam at the end to ensure that you fully grasp the concept presented within the course. I believe you will find the process of creating chatbots with Watson to be intuitive and fun once you get the hang of it. I hope you enjoy this course and that it will help you break into a career in AI.
Welcome to How to Build Chatbots. My name is Antonio Cangiano, and I'm a software developer and artificial intelligence evangelist at IBM. Over 50,000 people took the first edition of this course on chatbot building, and the reviews have been amazing so far. This motivated me to create an even better version of the course that uses the latest user interface and incorporates some exciting new features that weren't available when the first edition of the course came out in 2017. In this course, I'll teach you all that you realistically need to know about chatbots, the business opportunity they provide, and how to start building useful chatbots for yourself, your company, or your clients. No coding skills are required, so anyone can take this course and learn how to create and deploy chatbots. Together we'll build a chatbot for a fictitious florist chain of stores, a chatbot that provides information and assistance to prospective customers. We'll then deploy it on a WordPress site. Don't worry if you don't have your own WordPress site, as one will be provided for you in the course. All right, let's find out what chatbots are and how they can help us by discussing a common scenario. Your call is important to us. Due to unusually high call volume, you may experience a greater hold time than usual. Many of us are going to be familiar with this greeting on the phone when trying to reach the customer support line of a company. The prompt varies, but the gist of it is always the same. It would seem that the call volume is always unusually high, no matter when we call. Another common prompt you might be familiar with is, "Your call may be recorded for quality and training purposes." I must confess that at times I question how much these conversations are actually being used for training purposes as opposed to liability purposes. As we'll see in this course, with chatbots, we can actually use the conversations with customers to train and make our chatbot smarter and more useful. At any rate, we are on the line waiting for what seems to be an eternity, and we finally get to talk to a person. And they tell us, "Have you tried turning it off and on again?" Now, this is frustrating regardless of whether it fixes our problem. If it doesn't, we feel insulted by such a simple suggestion after 20 minutes of patiently waiting on the line. And if it fixes our problem, as it often actually does, we'll be happier but still frustrated from having wasted so much time on something we should have thought of ourselves or found as a suggestion on the company website. I'm not picking on companies providing customer care here. The truth is that customer support is hard. It's not hard because the questions are very hard. In most cases, it's a matter of providing simple answers to simple questions. It's hard because customer care, powered by humans, is not very scalable. If your business is doing well, you'll have an increasingly large amount of customers who need your help. So you'll need to hire more and more people, and that takes money. You'll also need to spend the time and energy to train them properly, managing them, and so on. Chatbots are not meant to replace humans entirely, but they can help us address a large number of simple inquiries from our customers. They can scale indefinitely, unlike human teams, and are available 24/7 every day of the year. In other words, they can act as a first line of defense for your customer care team, allowing you to inexpensively scale your customer support operations and provide a better service by having immediate answers around the clock for common inquiries. For example, a hotel might drastically cut down on the number of calls its reception desk receives simply by having a chat box that replies to the most common inquiries, such as restaurant hours or checkout times, setting an alarm call, or figuring out how to connect to the Wi-Fi. This leaves the hotel staff with a greater degree of time and energy to tackle more elaborate requests, such as changing rooms because one of their customers found crickets in their room. That actually happened to me, but that's a story for another day. We had this customer care scaling problem ourselves when cognitive class started to become more popular. We were ecstatic to have 1 million enrolled learners, but that posed a serious problem for our small team. So we created a student advisor chatbot that could advise students on which course to take and other common questions. As simple as it is, it reduced the number of support tickets from our students to about half of the number we were getting prior to the introduction of our chatbot. And unlike our team, who has a habit of going to sleep most nights, the chatbot is there, available 24/7 for our users. That's our story. Here is another one. Alan from Dollar Tea Club, a subscription service for tea lovers, is a one-man shop. He has to do everything by himself. Prior to introducing a chatbot, he was spending a lot of his time answering the same questions over and over. Do you ship to Canada? How much is shipping? How does it work? What kind of teas do you have? And so on. Again, simple questions that still take time to answer if a human is on the receiving end. So he took the first version of this chatbot course and built a chatbot that is saving him many hours a week. According to Alan, the moment the chatbot went live, it was like turning off a switch in terms of support tickets received. The chatbot he created is allowing him to regain some of his time, which he can use to actually grow his business. It's worth noting that Alan is a businessman, not a programmer, but he was able to create his own chatbot by the end of this course. So will you. Another example I wanted to give you is Oscar, the chatbot from the airline company Air New Zealand. I recently visited their wonderful country, and on my way there, I had a question about protein powder. You know how import regulations can be quite strict, so I got a little paranoid that I might be breaking some rules. Not wanting to be the Pablo Escobar of whey protein isolate, I asked the staff on board, and they had no idea. Thankfully, I had Wi-Fi on the plane and was able to use their chatbot, which had an answer to my protein powder question and all other questions I had. I was really impressed by how useful it was, especially at 35,000 feet in the air. As you can see, chatbots are universally useful, regardless of whether you're a one-person operation or a Fortune 500 company. Throughout this course, we'll learn how to create chatbots that serve practical business purposes rather than just being amusing gimmicks. But first, what is a chatbot? It's a software agent capable of conversing with users through some kind of chat interface. Typically, the chatbot will greet the user and invite them to take some action, like asking it a question. When the user replies, the chatbot will parse the input and figure out the intention of the user's question. Finally, it will respond in a consequential manner, either providing information or asking for further details before ultimately answering the question. Great chatbots can keep up this back and forth in a natural way within the scope of what the chatbot is designed to do. They make the user feel understood and helped. They create a rapport with the user without pretending to be human. The most common chatbots are textual chatbots, the kind you'd interact with in a chat pop-up window on a website or through a messaging app like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, or Slack. However, you can interact with some chatbots through your voice. Apple's Siri and Amazon Alexa are two examples of audio-based virtual assistants. Before we proceed further, it's worth noting that sometimes you might hear the word bot instead of chatbot in this course or elsewhere online. Depending on the context, it's acceptable to use bot in lieu of chatbot to mean the same thing. Nevertheless, the term bot is more generic, and there are software programs that independently perform a certain operation on our behalf without being chatbots. For example, a trader bot might monitor the market for certain conditions and then perform automated stock trading transactions based on that information. That's not a chatbot, as no chatting is taking place. The conversational element is what makes a bot a chatbot. There are many other terms that refer to chatbots, such as chatterbot, chatterbox, talkbot, virtual assistant, conversational agent, embodied agent, and even artificial conversational entity, or its acronym ACE. And believe it or not, this list is not even exhaustive. I like to keep things simple though, so I will generally stick with chatbot and occasionally bot in this course. Chatbots are trending. In this video, we'll discuss why and give you your first assignment. Chatbots are really trending. Everybody seems to be talking about them, and every day there is a new headline about how they are going to be big. If you cut through the hype, you'll notice that there is a genuine interest, and businesses, small and big, are paying very close attention to them. This creates a great business opportunities for those with the right skills. Chatbots have been around since the late 60s. The first chatbot, Eliza, was rudimentary, but it proved the potential of chatbots even back then. So why are chatbots suddenly so in demand now, over half a century later? Two key developments have allowed chatbots to become a viable business tool and such an in-demand skill. The first one is the emergence of messenger applications. WhatsApp, WeChat, Facebook Messenger, and even Slack have become incredibly popular. Collectively, they are used by billions of people around the world. That's B, not M. In fact, messenger platforms are even more popular than social media sites. Messenger apps might have been the catalyst for the emergence of chatbots, but they are certainly not the only platform. Chatbots are now appearing on sites and as mobile apps as well. It's not so much the platform on which they are delivered on, but rather the conversational nature of the interface. People simply love textual chat and prefer it over virtually every other form of digital conversation. The second key component that allowed chatbots to really take off is the emergence of artificial intelligence. Chatbots wouldn't be very useful if they weren't able to understand what the user wants and respond accordingly. Over the past few years, machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, and artificial intelligence in general have all progressed quite rapidly. You might be familiar with IBM Watson, who, several years ago, defeated the best Jeopardy players in the world. More recently, IBM showcased Project Debater, an AI capable of debating humans on complex topics. The math behind many of these innovations and achievements is quite complex, and by the end of this course, you will fully understand these formulas. Well, not really. You see, AI is becoming smarter, but it's also becoming more readily available to everyone. AI is no longer accessible solely to researchers with PhDs in computer science. Such cognitive capabilities are now easily available via libraries and through services provided by companies like IBM. Today, the many AI capabilities of Watson are readily provided as services and APIs that are available to anyone with an IBM cloud account. In this course, we'll in fact use one such a service. Specifically, I'm talking about Watson Assistant. This will enable us to develop a chatbot with NLP, or natural language processing capabilities. In other words, a chat box that understands our users and can provide useful answers within the scope we define for it. It's now your turn. In the next section of this module, you'll find a lab that will instruct you to register for a free IBM Cloud account and to create a Watson Assistant service. Follow the step-by-step instructions I provided, and the process should not take much time or effort.